After winning Las Vegas, the road had been a treacherous one for Edmonton Impact in the States. They put up another win on the board in Prague, but they were just not getting consistent performances from their roster this year to contend at the last 3 events in the US. World Cup was their current roster's last chance to prove themselves. If they didn't do well here, heads could roll, and we could see a different Edmonton Impact in 2020.
We're coming. What next?
The game of paintball is a diverse activity that means many different things to many different people. But to a team originating out of Canada, Edmonton Impact, it means one thing above all others: a quest to be the absolute best. Their adventure started back in 2003 in the rookie division.
Split with Team Peg Factory. We are from Edmonton, Alberta. We're Canadians, right there.
We do a lot of training back here in Edmonton.
Then after over a decade and a half of hard work and perseverance, their Canadian core, surrounded by a select group of elite imported talent, came to define dominance as they railed off 14 wins all over the world during a 4-year run. They hadn't just climbed the mountain, they had become the mountain.
This is it, so big congratulations to Edmonton Impact.
Thank you, Impact! Way to go!
It says a lot. You know, I think about the boys and 10 years old playing, and you never dreamed of coming this far and how we've come.
But after their success with the win in Vegas last year, they hit a slump with disappointing finish after frustrating performance. But changes were made and new players were brought in. Now re-energized and reformed, Impact's mission remains the same as it always has been: crush everyone on the way to the #1 spot and become the best team ever to pick up a paintball gun. Join us on the Impact Series as we dive into all the on and off field drama that drives this legendary squad in their journey to get back to the top. Brought to you only by GoSports.com.
To Sunday's competition, the most important day in professional paintball, the 2019 NXL Philly Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Steve Rabakoff and Todd Martinez here at Montgomery County Community College. And man, this is going to be an interesting day. So the teams that made it on, first, before we get to the quarterfinals, we have 2 wild card games, and Edmonton Impact finds themselves in a wild card round because of the beating that they took from San Diego Dynasty yesterday. They took a mercy rule loss. We haven't seen Impact get beat up that bad in probably about 5 years. It was an amazing game from San Diego Dynasty. But today is an incredibly new day. Everything restarts here. 10 teams make it on. And I got a chance to talk to Bart Yakimek, and they're going to be out for blood today. He was laughing it off, but then also got real focused and said, hey, man, maybe we needed that. Maybe we need that to refocus our fire. And they're going to have to get through Tampa Bay Damage, a new resurgent Tampa Bay Damage, also in this wild card set, Infamous and Revo. So we'll break down the quarterfinals in a second. Before we get into that, Todd, we'll start with you. And we'll start with Infamous and Revo. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Revo, I've been saying this for 2 days now. They've been doing everything they need to do to get the job done. Win 1-point games, win close matches, get that one key kill here and there. But Infamous, I feel like, came out really aggressive on this layout, and they've been playing that way, and they've just been guns blazing, lets it run everybody, get big-time points out of people like Thomas Taylor, who seems to be running around just fine on that ankle this morning, and Drew Templeton over there on the Dorito side. I think this is going to be a good clash, a good gunfight game to watch, because with the way Drew's attacking down that Dorito side, Mike Zupa and Henry Sands have been playing just as well over there as the 1-2 punch for Revo. But you got Stephen O'Mara, who's playing on the snake side with the lack of a real heavy middle. Stephen O'Mara has been playing the snake side, and he's been snap shooting fiend that we've seen out here today.
Yeah, because no Dan Zaleski and no Josh Pike. So the fact that Revo has even been able to make it to yet another Sunday, again, 2 top 4 finishes for them last year. Revo is one of the better teams out here. Still not able to get a win underneath their belt, but you make top 4, you're a top team, but they don't have some of their top guys here. So the fact that they've been able to make it on to Sunday, they're here in the wild card round. They got to get through Infamous and Baltimore Revo. Definitely a scrappy squad. I love what we're seeing out of O'Mara over here on the Snake side. And Todd, like you said, yeah, the new pickup Zupa on that D side, and then Henry Sense, the longtime veteran on this squad, also doing well. This is gonna be a fun game. Like you said, Thomas Taylor's running around. We saw him have to get carried off the field yesterday.
He said that yesterday, that he'll take 2 pieces of wood and tape it with duct tape. He's going to be out here, so there's no way he's not going to play.
Rab, what do you think about that Infamous and Revo matchup?
Like Todd said, Infamous started off not so well on Friday, but they turned it on yesterday, and I think that they're just going to keep rolling with that here this morning. I talked to Henry as well this morning, and he said, hey, they had a rough match against AC. They said Brad just ran all across them on the Dorito side, so they're going to make some adjustments, and we'll see how those adjustments go this morning, obviously. But he's feeling pretty confident as well on the Dorito side with how they're playing over there, Todd.
Yeah, and so Revo ranked 7th overall, Infamous ranked 10th. Infamous did make Sunday, and they did the exact same thing at the last event that they did this event. They lost their first 2 games, and then they needed to come out and win their next 2 games, and they were able to do that. So let's talk about this impact and damage matchup. So Rab, obviously your son playing on Edmonton Impact. Did you get a chance to talk to him about what went down in the prelims?
Yeah, I said, you haven't had a beating like that since I beat you like when you were 14. Like, what was that? And he said, yeah, we took a beating. They did. They got their behinds beat pretty good. And I told him, I said, I think you're out of position a little bit, personally, but I can't tell him too much because he's not going to listen to me anyway. So, but I can give him my advice.
Yeah, J-Rab he still had some kills up there. He's putting up some numbers here and there, but definitely having some early deaths. But we saw J-Rab in day 1 in Vegas have a couple early deaths. Nothing too crazy. He wasn't playing terrible, but then he came back and he won the Top Gun title. So.
And we said this yesterday.
Impact's a scary team when pushed into a corner, and they're definitely pushed into a corner. When you're in the wild card round, you have to win 4 games to win the tournament. Now, it has happened before. Houston Heat came out of the wild card round at World Cup. So it's possible, but it's just difficult to string together 4 wins against the best teams in the world. And also, now let's kind of talk a little bit about the rest of the quarterfinals and where everyone's going to go if they win these games. If Impact beats Damage, they have to play Dynasty next, which is the team that beat them up in the prelims. And also in that side of the bracket is Heat and Legion. So the winner of the Dynasty and either Damage or Impact, the winner of that match, they have to play either Heat or Red Legion, the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the world right now. The team that's won 3 events in a row, including Europe, and the team that was the series title and the World Cup title winners from 2018. So
this bracket has 1, 2, and 3 in it.
Yeah, this is with Impact, Heat, Legion, and Damage. I mean, that bottom side of the bracket is incredibly scary. And then on the other side of the bracket, you have X Factor, who's waiting for the winner of Infamous and Revo. And X Factor looks outstanding. They're definitely a favorite here. They're long overdue for a win, as we all well know. They know that. Everybody knows it. AC Dallas also do. They've been in the finals 3 times. They're going to take on a scrappy Uprising, who's made Sunday for the first time in 2 years. Let's talk a little bit about those matchups. Todd, what do you think about the how X Factor's playing here at this match or this game?
I haven't got to watch all of X Factor's full matches, but I mean, just from watching on the sidelines, you know, they're winning 2-on-5s left and right out here. You know, just really good communication, really good off-the-break shots. People seem like they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they seem like they're really playing as a team. It really comes from the communication. They're out there, and they're really talking it up. Rainey Stanzak, I feel like, has made a huge difference with that on that team, just the way he plays, but also just the communication and the setup and the confidence of everybody out there. So X Factor looks to be playing really, really clean. And, you know, but again, today's a new day. It's Sunday. You know, X Factor needs to have a big day today.
We talked about that yesterday. There's Friday and Saturday teams, and then there's Sunday teams, Sunday players. And the first thing you want to do is get to Sunday, but what are you going to do on Sunday when you get that? So X Factor, we know they're the most consistent team getting to Sunday, and we know they have the talent. And I think yesterday against the Russian game, like Todd said, they were winning 2-on-5s, 2-on-4s, and I think they with Rainey, the addition of Rainey, that's made a big difference for X Factor.
It's interesting with X Factor too is they're playing a lot of players in different positions. Now Jesse Stevens and Archie Montemayor, they look identical out there, same size, same build. Their number 11 and number 17 with the font looks kind of the same. And now they've played Jesse Stevens on both sides of the field. They've put Archie Montemayor on both sides of the field and also played a lot of their players in different spots, with maybe the exception of Nick Sloviak, who's been playing well, been playing those towers. But what does that do? That makes them less scoutable. You go back and you watch all the games that X Factor played. I can't even really, after watching every point they played, I can't tell you their tendencies right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Ryan Brand and on all those veterans on that squad have done a good job of being very unscoutable right now. So I don't even know who they're going to come out with.
And that's
because
what Colt said that yesterday.
Yes, he
that
did.
They've been predictable going into those semifinal and final games when they get there, and that they're trying to show a little different setup.
And with also game plans, too, of where they're putting those bodies, not
Right.
just personnel on each side of the field. So if I was coaching either Infamous or Revo right now, and we get to that X Factor game, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to put my guns on the break? Off the break shots, obviously crucial on this field, every field. I don't even really know. I'd have to really think long and hard about where that shot would go, because it's not just like, oh, well, Jesse is always running on the D side, and he's real quick to make that bump into the mini wall. I really have no idea. They could take the 40 wedge on the break with Jesse Stevens with his wheels, or they could send him to snake one, or maybe to the brick up the set. I have no idea what they're going to do with Jesse. I don't know where they're going to put Archie, because they've been putting Archie all over the place. Let's talk about EC Dallas and Uprising. Uprising, man, it's just so impressive out there. They were 3-0 going into their last game yesterday. And they took on, let's see if I can pull it up here. Well, regardless, they looked outstanding. Oh, there it was. They lost to Heat. So Heat was 3-0, Uprising was 3-0, and Heat beat them by a bit. It was 5-1. But Uprising they're executing. Great offense. They're recovering when they lose bodies. And we were asking for this out of Uprising. Hey, give us some consistency.
Yeah.
You guys always give the good teams really good games. Sometimes you lose in overtime by 1 point. They'd have these barely miss Sunday by just a couple points, just by 1 or 2 on the point spread here or there. But Todd, it's great to see Uprising holding it down for the Northwest and making it Sunday for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, the things that they're good at, shooting on the break, staying alive when they're up bodies, communicating, they're doing all those things really well. And we say for them to be successful, they have to use their strengths to their biggest advantage, and then have a little fire inside of them to come out here and really compete and want to win and make a Sunday. But we've seen them get close so many times. When that one, I think it was World Cup, where they went to 4 overtime games and lost all of them.
Yeah.
They can play. It's got to be the right day for them. They got to have it all together, and everybody's playing big for them right now, so they definitely have an opportunity here.
Yeah, and taking on AC Dallas, who AC Dallas is going to be favored every single event that they play. A lot of people were saying, oh, we don't know if this is going to be the field layout for AC Dallas. Looks a little fast. Then the rain comes in, slows it down a bit. But AC Dallas definitely has some wheels. They have aggressive players. Matt Jackson, Brad McCurley, BJ Henningberg, Waring. They have guys that want to get after it over there, and they have some fast players, and they're able to take some ground. And we saw that in the early part of their game. So look for AC Dallas to come out maybe slightly more aggressive than we've been seeing them over the years in the beginning of these matches, and again until they run up a couple points. And that's when they go to that lock it up game plan. And also, man, Houston Heat and Red Legion, just real quick here, Todd, we only got a little bit of time before we jump into this first point. Thoughts on that Heat-Red Legion matchup? Number 1 and number 2 teams.
You're up, Todd.
Heat Legion, number 1, number 2.
I mean,
in the quarters.
Playing Heat yesterday, I was like, watching everybody in the mornings, and then, all throughout our games in the afternoons. You come out here and, we make our spots, and then Kyle gets shot on a bounce shot. Allen gets shot on a bounce shot. They come down this side. We lose. Next point. Breakout. Kyle gets shot on a bounce shot. Allen is getting bounce shot, and he's sitting in his spot. And Kyle, before he got shot, was like, Allen, help. They're shooting the bounce shot. And Allen's like, hold on a second. Goes like this. Ball bounces off, hits him in the goggles. 2 more dudes to bounce shots.
Yeah.
It was the first 3 points.
So you're saying that Heat has the bounce shots?
He's got the bounce shots definitely dialed in over here, because we had this conversation before, and it's like, okay, well, do we run to the corner, which is the spot that everybody's been shooting, or do we run to the snake insert, which has the bounce shot?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the easier shot is to run to the corner. So we ran to the snake insert. They ran to the snake insert. Everybody's pounding the bounce shot.
Yeah.
And then both of theirs came in both times and hit us.
And we said that Kyle couldn't, the first 3 points, he didn't even shoot his gun.
Yeah, he
first
couldn't.
3 points.
So off that, Heat did a really good job of coming up the middle and locking off the snake side after that and kind of halting the push with, I believe, Mishka up in that center tower.
Yeah. Mishka's been running to that tower every single time. We also got to get to our top gun race here before we start this first point in the wild card round. So let's get a look here at the top gun leaders. We can hopefully get that graphic, and there it is. So Chad George is in the lead in first with 31 confirmed kills, and we were talking about Heat. Chad George has been phenomenal. Of course, we're talking about Chad George, man. He's one of the best players in the world. Maybe he's going to take the Carbon Paintball Golden Barrel Top Gun Award. Or Alex Rodriguez. San Diego Dynasty, to me, out of all the teams we watched, I mean, they only let 3 points be scored on them in all of the games that they played, just murdering people out there. And one of the reasons is because Alex Rodriguez is just running through, just dicing people up. Archie Montemayor also, he's got a shot at it. He's a former Top Gun Award winner for the year overall through all 5 events. 26 kills for him. Leo Smotrov, he's the defending title holder right now from the last event. 25 for him. And then Kyle Spick, unfortunately, he did finally pick it up. He had a bad first day, pretty good second day, 23. And we will not see him out here. So there will be a new 5th guy in there. So, I don't know, Chad George, Rodriguez, Archie Montemayor, Smotrov, some of the AC Dallas players are sitting
they're right there.
They're
Matt
at
Jackson,
22.
Brad McCurley are right behind.
They're all at 22, so they are right off of that. They're on the other side of that
we were
list.
saying yesterday that the guys that are going to win the Top Gun are going to be the teams that move deep into the today.
You got to go deep. And also, Thomas Taylor having to get carried off the field. He's ranked 6th right now. I think he has 22 kills as well. So Thomas Taylor will be starting number 77. He plays the snake side here for Los Angeles Infamous, and in a really big move that he had to try to put a crucial point on the board for his team. Sprinted in, and with that mud over there, twisted his ankle so bad again that he had to be carried off the field yesterday. I texted him last night and I said, hey man, how you feeling? Is that ankle good? And he's like, it's not good, but you know me, man, I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. And that's all what we've expected out of Thomas Taylor, who just been doing this for 17 years now, one of the most experienced guys in the league. So we're just a couple minutes to go from the start of this one. So let's talk about Dynasty, because that's the one team we really haven't started to break down here. They're in the quarters, and they will again play the winner of impact and damage. Todd, what are your thoughts on San Diego Dynasty here at this event?
They're shooting a guy on the break every time, and that's really just what's opening up the door for them. They're shooting a guy on the break every time and getting guys out to their spots. Some guys are getting shot running out to this corner. Some guys are making it. Tyler Harmon has made it to that corner almost every time. Yeah, that's really the long and the short of it. You're playing 5-on-4 with all the good spots. It makes those moves down the tape after that a lot easier.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can continue to do that today, and then how are they going to respond if all of a sudden that shot's not there, or guys switch up and they're not able to get those shots. They're also closing nicely, because even in the points that they will lose some bodies too.
They always had guys going down that Dorito side, just finding ways to get down there. So, and A-Rod is just killing it.
Yeah, Blake Yarber also having a really good event. Ryan Greenspan, he's got a ton of kills as well. Yosh Rao's been holding it down, probably one of the reasons they keep getting those off-the-break shots. So, yeah, San Diego Dynasty, I believe, again, just because if you go back through the 8 prelim games that we've seen them play at the past 2 events, they've only let their opponents in 8 games score 6 points against them. And 2 of those came in they beat Houston Heat 5-2.
The game they played against Impact yesterday, for me, was the best I've seen them play. That was the best game I've seen them play in years. And they were just amazing across the field, and all 4 games.
Well, and going back to how they played in the quarterfinals, they got knocked out by AC Dallas at the last event. They went down 4-0, and that game ended up only being a 1-point match. They lost it 5-4. So we'll see here as we're just about 30 seconds away from the start of the first point here in the wild card round on Sunday. Here, the NXL Philly Open. The NXL, the best tournament series on planet Earth. Right now, you can see there on your screen the killers. You did see this, the infamous killers. And here we go. How is Thomas Taylor and the rest of the boys going to play here? As looks like they're going to take the snake off the break, and it is a 5-on-5 break here. Baltimore Revo with their new pickup of Zupa on the D side. Zupa alive. He's at D2. Good crossfield spread for both squads, but a little bit better field position right now for Infamous as they have a body in the snake. Here they go, starting attacking the center. And it looks like Rab, first body to drop is going to be from the snake corner for Revo.
And it looks like Infamous gets taken out in the snake as well. So it's 4-on-4. Both snake players are walking off the field now.
Yeah, Jerry Caro made it to snake 1 on the break, but took one on the inside. Henry Sense in that tower on the Dorito side looking this way. Zupa's going to make his first bump up into the Dorito 3.
Looking like Infamous wants to make a move on that D side, up and on his feet, and there he goes. And it's going to be Drew Templeton Drew Templeton was able to get pretty much anywhere he wanted on the D side. He had some really good points for Infamous. He's one of the big reasons that they are playing on Sunday. And Todd, we were talking about that yesterday, just how effortless it was for Drew to kind of get anywhere on that D side.
Yeah, from the very first match on Friday, he was just hard to stop. He was running wherever he wanted to, utilizing his speed, running and gunning, getting the spots, but was having a little bit of trouble getting the kills, but got better and better as the event went on, and now here he is on Sunday with an opportunity to really win points for his team using the things that he's been doing all tournament, as he is now in the 40-yard line brick, up over the top, looking for kills.
Messer, a little tactical retreat as he moves across, and it looks like he's going to get shot on that transition. So now a one-body advantage right now for Baltimore. Revo looks like Rodarte is going to tactically retreat to take over that spot. And Kalski's still alive over here. He's the only one on the Snake side, but he's at the backhand. The referee is checking out Drew Templeton. He might be getting pulled out too, and he is. So real quick, Infamous had some position, but losing a couple bodies, and was 4-on-4 now. A big advantage for Revo with 2 extra bodies. Looking at Max Trailer there at the tower, trying to shoot towards that D side. See if Infamous can win a low body situation here in this first point. There's more movement on the D side right now for Revo, and another body is going to drop, so look for a concession most likely coming from Travis Lemansky, or might just roll the dice and see if Cody Minkowski can pull off something crazy in this first point. It is a 1-on-4, so kind of a tall order here as they're starting to close the gap and see if they save Minkowski the pain.
Yep.
No, maybe he was arguing too much in the meeting last night.
He did something to Travis. Maybe he didn't buy him breakfast. So Revo with a nice solid point there. But like for a minute there, Infamous had the field position with Drew on that 40 wedge.
Yeah, Infamous, I mean, that was a very close point until Infamous lost those 2 bodies. Nice job by Revo to capitalize on those kills and to get those kills in the first place. And now we have Tampa Bay Damage coming out, taking on Edmonton Impact. And Tampa Bay Damage, they're really taking this seriously now. There's a bunch of legends on that team. I mean, a squad that not that long ago was hyper competitive. Yeah, they ranked 3rd overall.
And they
a year and a half ago.
They played Impact to a 3-2 game yesterday. It was a close game, so.
Damage came in, yes they did. Damage came into this event ranked 14th and now making Sunday, so that's going to help them out. We'll see if they are able to prevail here against Edmonton Impact. It would be an upset victory for them at this particular time, but Edmonton Impact going to lose Justin Rabakoff essentially off the break, and it's 4-on-5 in favor of Damage. Keith Brown was lights out in the prelims, just winning gunfight after gunfight. You know, Keith known for his aggression and playing the Snake side and his burst speed, but man, he was just putting on a snap shooting clinic in the prelims, and he's now into Snake 1.
Alex Goldman moving into the Snake 2.
Justin Rabakoff, the first body to walk off. Alex Goldman looks like he's going to have his pack checked from across the field. He's still alive, in good position here. These 2 guys used to play right next to each other on Edmonton Impact last year. Alex Goldman and Keith Brown now going head-to-head over here on the Snake side. Alex Goldman jumping up into the 40, red brick, looking to get some kills.
And that's what they need from Alex, because Alex wasn't getting it going on that Snake the way he wanted to. Talk to him a little bit, so that's what they need from him out of this first point.
Well, when we looked at this layout, I was thinking, man, with what happened at the last event and Alex getting suspended and having to not play on Sunday morning when they lost to the Russians, I thought, man, this would be his event. And it very well could be, because right now Goldman is the thorn, and he is past the 50-yard line here for Edmonton Impact. And he has his former teammate right in front of him, Keith Brown, and he's about to run Keith Brown down, and they're going to trade out. But look at this, though. Zach Yakimek quick to get into position right behind Mouse after that move. And now Zach Yakimek has got this wedge here on the Snake side as Justin Cornell makes his move on the D side.
But with Damage pulls out to the Snake corner here to keep that pressure on Zach, and here he fills in.
Here comes Ryan Smith coming back to the team after playing with Mutiny last year and retiring for a couple of years. We'll see who's going to win this battle. Tim Montresor, though, gets shot on a transition trying to get over to the can to help out Smith. So it's now a 3-on-3, it looks like. Oh, as Justin Cornell comes off. So Justin Cornell, who is playing amazing in the prelims, and he's going to have to take the walk off that side, and is now a 2-on-3 situation. So Damaged, slight one-body advantage right here. Jacob Edwards is going to run down Nick Laval, and that's going to leave just Yakimek here in a 2-on-1 situation. We'll see if Smith can find him. So Smith's moving up, and here comes Zach. So they're going to run past each other, and then who's going to get the drop on who? They're probably going to trade out, and that's going to leave Jason Edwards left alive. We'll see if there's going to be a penalty called on that trade, and no call, so that's good. It was just a bang-bang play, trade out. Nice move from both guys, but Jason Edwards staying alive over there, and you only need one to hit that buzzer.
We saw that from him a couple times yesterday. All the melees going down. Jacob Edwards going, trading out bodies, run down that Dorito side. Brian Smith, the Rock over here on the Snake side. Keith Brown doing work. Brian Smith cleaning it up. There he goes one more time. And that trade out with Zach Yakmak getting him off the field, leaving just Jason Edwards alive.
See the predictions here in FanWagon. Hopefully you got your picks in for the Sunday Club. Chance to win a MacDev Prime. As Impact a pretty big favorite over Tampa Bay Damage, and Infamous an underdog to Revo. So these statistics, again, brought to you by My FanWagon. And remember, for the next event, if you did not get your picks in for the Sunday Club, you know, we have standard predictions for prelims and overall, but FanWagon always trying to evolve and bring us the Sunday Club now, and a chance to
sign
win
up,
that big prize
pick,
for the
win
MacDev
prizes.
Prime. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Pretty
It really is. So here we go. 12-21 to go here, second point, as these teams are switching sides. Here comes Revo, and it looks like Infamous is going to lose Thomas Taylor off the break. It's now a 4-on-5 situation, so good survivability off the break here for Revo. In this point, they lost one early in the last one. See, and they're making a little bit of forward progression on the D side of the field, getting into D3. Another body comes off, Jerry Caro.
So look for Amara to start getting down the Snake side, as Infamous's Snake is just wide open now. All three players, two players on the Dorito side, one back center. And here comes Amara and Snake 1.
Max Trailer making a move up the middle to that center tower. Max Trailer's been playing real big for them. Had a little rough event last time, but now is back in the mix, on the field for his team, getting kills. O'Mara with that shot in the pack walks out of the Snake, leaving just Derula over here, but the referee running in to check the back center. For Infamous, that's Wyatt. He is clean. He's still alive. Wyatt, Mikowski, and Templeton. The three bodies alive for Infamous. Four players, it's Henry, Zupa, Max Trailer, and Derula over here on the Snake side for Revo.
Yeah, and no one really, I mean, there's just no one in the Snake and much on the Snake side. Derula, farthest body over, as Revo does have that extra player out there, 4-on-3. See Derula thinking about maybe making a move over to the Snake. He's going to come and gunfight on this side.
That's the move. That's the move that puts the pressure on that Dorito side. It allows his Dorito players to get going down that Dorito side.
There are two guns looking this way, though, Rab, as it looks like Mikowski and Templeton have their gun towards the center and towards the Snake side. So that's going to allow Zupa to make his move up into D4, as all he has to worry about is Wyatt.
Yeah, he just keeps going down that Dorito side. If those guys are going to stay on this, keep their guns on that Snake side, he's just going to just move down that Dorito side. Because there's only Wyatt sitting in the back center shooting on that side. He could easily get past him.
Here comes Max Trailer, who's going to coast up to the blue brick at the 50-yard line, looking to get a shot on Drew Templeton. He's got a bead on him, and Drew able to head check away from that one. Max Trailer switches sides now at that blue brick at the 50. Just checks off on the Snake. There's no one over there. And he's talking it up with Zupa. Yeah, Derula. And then Drew Templeton makes a move into the mini wall over on the D side. So we'll see if Revo could pick that up. There goes Henry Sense as Sense makes his move out wide. D side. Oh, and Sense gets picked off in that transition. And I think that was either Drew or Wyatt. I think Drew came up over the top and caught Henry as he got in there. So that's a huge kill for Infamous. There's Templeton on your screen on the D side. He's been real solid for him this weekend. Again, one of the reasons that Infamous is playing here on Sunday. 9 minutes, 28 seconds to go. It's all locked up here, 3-on-3.
Derula really needs to find a way to get into this Snake, because Templeton is now moving down this Dorito side.
Look at this. Drew makes a big move. He's going to catch Zupa sleeping, and he goes untouched all the way in the backfield. He's going to get caught by Derula. Look for a potential penalty. The referee is running in, and he's going to pull out Derula. Derula's arguing with the ref right now. Minkowski's still alive. I think Wyatt might have caught one. No, Wyatt went out wide on the Snake side. What a great job for Infamous to tie this game up. What a beautiful move by Drew Templeton.
Well, Drew Templeton really did work, being down 3-on-5 pretty much off the break. Drew Templeton stayed alive, kept fighting out of that Dorito, made his moves up the field, and won a big one there for Infamous. Infamous definitely needed that one.
And Derulo will go back and look at that play later and say, shit, I should have went in the snake.
Yeah, probably should have made that move in the snake, but, you know, he's one of their best players. So we'll see how they get it back. It's tied up. And let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I was in the impact pit, and Coach Dave Baines was really driving home the fact that communication is going to be so key in all of these tough points. He said in the beginning of that first point versus Damage, their communication was on point, but they really dropped it off later in that point, which is what gave Damage that first point.
Yeah, communication, always a big thing, but it's just something you always have to be reminded of. And on this layout, sometimes you can't see the guy directly in front of you and the changing variables. So Impact and Tampa Bay Damage. Impact now on your right as these teams are switching sides. Damage in the blue and black on the breakout. They're going to lose Keith Brown, so Impact's off the break shots work out this time. They keep Justin Rabikoff alive. He's going to go to the tower, and he talks it up, calling that kill on his former teammate. And referee's going to check out Alex Goldman, who was able to get out wide here, snake side, but he's clean. So it is 5 players alive for Impact, and now just 3 for Damage.
And Justin Cornell's moving down that Dorito side.
You know, Damage picking up Joey Blute as their coach, as they needed some accountability during their practice sessions and at the tournaments and some leadership. And, you know, he's only had, I think, 3 weeks with them, or 3 weekends. But already they're here on Sunday. And again, Damage came into this ranked 14th overall after getting knocked out of both Vegas and Texas and taking a 12th and a 15th. But finally making a Sunday. We'll see how they do here, as 1-point lead might be tied up here as Alex Goldman is in the snake, and Impact still has 5 players alive, and they are just starting to shark over here towards the snake side.
You've seen this from Impact a lot this weekend. Like, normally when Impact is closing games and playing smart, they do it consistently, like the same way, right? It seems like this weekend they've kind of been like all over the place. You know, Justin now starting the back center, ran out to that Dorito tower, came back, came out of this way. I mean, he's doing everything he can to communicate. You watch him play this point, and he's really trying to beat the communication home into everybody, looking directly at people, making sure with his hand gestures that he's serious about what is happening here.
Yeah, he's very animated out there in his communication.
You know, right now, you know, obviously Alex Goldman's going to try and come down this snake. JC over there on the Dorito side, but now 2 guys in the middle. You know, you haven't really seen this a whole lot out of teams this weekend. It's like they're kind of searching for where they want to get their kills from.
Oh,
but
Goldman
right now, just really putting the pressure on Tim Montresor. Nowhere for him to hide. 1 body left alive in that corner, but
perfect point, Todd and Rab, for Edmonton Impact to tie this game up.
When you're trying to get the consistency, you know, you really just need to talk through everything and make sure everybody's on the same page, because there's so many smart players out there. You know, if they know what's going on, then you trust that they're going to make the right decisions. So,
and like Lauren said, with Dave Baines trying to hammer down communication, like you said, with Justin out there animated with his screaming at everybody, trying to get them to understand, hey, this is where everybody's at.
He's looking at people, and he's like, no, it's G1 from that side of the field over there, and I need you to look that way. he's getting deep into it. But that's good to see. Obviously, Impact is very motivated right now. They did win the first event in Vegas. They've looked pretty good this year overall, but not like the monstrous beast that they were 3 years running. But they did have some big changes in the roster, but it didn't take them any time to win another tournament. But when you're Impact, anything other than a victory is going to be really tough to take.
Right. So here we go, Revo, Infamous, 1-1. 8:53 left, and look at this. Templeton all the way to the...
And Zupa tries to go to this Dorito corner, and he gets picked off on the break. Once again, Drew all the way up in his favorite spot, that first little wedge on the outside line. Now wrapping around, trying to squeeze some in on Henry Sense. Derula in the back center, Max Trailer from the Snakeside Cans looking across the field. But Zupa's been their attacker over there, been consistent all weekend. Haven't seen him run to that corner much. Tries to do it this time and gets picked off.
Yeah, so just that 1 body dropped. You can see the back line there for Infamous, all 4 back spots, but no one on that D side. They have the tower, the back Aztec, the stand-up can, and then back snake bunker. And then now we're looking on the D side cam at those towers for Infamous, up by 1 body. Looks like he wants to make a move. Rodarte was thinking about it, and then comes back to establish that lane, wraps around again. He's going to get the wrap. Looks like he wants to go Rodarte out into the open, and he's going to creep up and get to that 50 blue brick. And again, another look here at the back line for Revo, as Revo is still locked in their spots, feeling some pressure here from Infamous. No one in the snake yet for Infamous, though. And there's Rodarte up the 50. Shutting that D side down, Todd. Talk to me about that angle.
Rodarte?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's susceptible to the bounce shot, but, I mean, he's really just in there staying low. Nobody's really trying shooting that bounce shot at him off that pin into him. So he can basically play low, lock off that lane, but Revo not really trying to push it. So Rodarte is going to look to try and wrap and get a kill in on the back center or shoot the pack of Henry Sense, but Revo not really giving him much right now. He can also kind of take the pressure off Drew as he looks to the snake side just in time to catch Max Trailer making a run to the snake.
Perfect timing right there.
Oh, man, poor Max Trailer. Did not know that Rodarte had literally just switched to look at the snake side, and Rodarte, that's the one where you switch and you're like, oh, perfect.
Perfect. Look at this. I'll take this free elimination. Thomas Taylor here in the snake 1. Look for Drew to start moving down that Dorito side here shortly. Really start putting the pressure on the back center and Henry Sense in the tower.
6 minutes and 22 seconds left to go. Some longer points out here. This is Sunday Paintball. Things do slow down. Everything more important, as Mikowski's going to coast out. Back corner bunker, untouched, behind Thomas Taylor. Playing on that bum ankle right now. And he's going to be talking to Mikowski, and they're going to get a concession from Revo. So with that time dwindling off the clock and a tie ball game 1-1, Revo wanted to give themselves enough time. So 2-1 game now in favor of Infamous. Nice control. Infamous not losing a body. Perfect point for them. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Thanks. Tied game also for Impact and Damage, but Damage came off the field after that last point that Impact was able to take and said that they started 2 seconds early and were cheating. But Joey Blute said to let it go. These things happen. They need to get 2 quick kills and then stay in their bunkers and let Impact make mistakes. He said no penalties, and he thinks that Damage can play a more controlled game than Impact can.
Damage used to be the best at the controlled game.
They were.
No one was better than Tampa Bay Damage. I mean, we're talking now about
teams were trying
AC
to learn
Dallas
how they
this
did
and
it,
AC
yeah.
Dallas that, but that originally came from Tampa Bay Damage. Dynasty also used to be really good at that. So the referee running in and checking out back corner bunker Jacob Edwards for Tampa Bay Damage, as JC taking some ground on that D side, gets to the mini wall. Nick Laval moving up to the tower, front tower, as Goldman in the snakes. So some great offensive moves here. As you see the top killers, Alex Goldman sneaking into the 20s, 21 confirmed for him. If he goes off today and Impact makes it deep, he could be getting this golden barrel. Justin Cornell has been dominating on that D side. He has 18. And still 5 players alive right now for Impact and 5 for Damage. Damage also taking some ground on the D side with Jacob Edwards, and they get Keith Brown into the snake. But the referee's going to run in and give Keith a quick look, and oh yeah, he caught one on his loader. So
I think that was Justin Cornell from across the field that got him on that. And 5-4 body advantage for Impact right now. But Jacob is on that Dorito side matched up with Justin.
As Damage loses Brian Smith from the back corner bunker, you're getting a look at Tampa Bay Damage's kill count leaders. Keith Brown is leading the list. It's good to see Jason Edwards up there with 14. And now Mouse, Alex Goldman, 2. The wedge here at the 40-yard line on the snake side. Wrapping around, tries to get a shot on Tim Montresor. No, as he comes across, I think it might be Jason. And here comes Mouse, no one in front of him. Comes all the way down. He's gonna get picked off though. And did he get a kill? Tim Montresor's in the back corner, so he definitely got that one. Zach Yakimek's getting checked out. He might have got clipped. Jake Edwards is still alive over there, but he gets shot by Cornell as he comes around. Yakimek looking for the last bodies, and Justin is gonna go clear out that D side, but everybody's dead for Tampa Bay Damage. And J-Rab, Laval, and Yakimek and JC still alive, so Damage only able to get Mouse, and Mouse was the full send over here on the snake side.
100%. I thought maybe he was going to dive into the snake thing and look across the field real quick.
Yeah, because he thought someone was still in there.
Yeah, obviously maybe got some bad information or lack of information. But didn't seem like Nick Laval was in many of the points early in this event. And Coach Dave Baines was kind of playing with lineups here and there. And it's interesting to see now here on Sunday, going with the lineup that he's got with Mouse, Zach, Nick, JC, and Justin. And Nick Laval, you know, he's a former MVP. He's definitely one of those guys that's tough as nails, rock solid. Yes, there's no wall for him to run through, you know, hasn't been for some time.
Nick the wall, Laval.
But, you know, Nick
he's
has been solid wherever he plays. Dorito side, Snake side back up, you know, that center tower there is a good spot for him to shoot his gun on the break, be a threat.
Well, he's a really intelligent.
Communicate well.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent player. He's very versatile. I mean, he's like 6'3", so he's a bigger guy, but he folds up real nicely, and they can put him pretty much everywhere. Great gunfighter. 6 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. Infamous with a 1-point lead. Can Revo answer? They take some ground on the D side, taking some of that real estate here off the break, into the mini wall.
Oh, and made it. Infamous was doubled up in that back center. He got out to the back can. Super all the way to the 50 brick.
There goes Derula. As Derula gets up to the blue brick at the 50-yard line, they also make it to the wedge, so some nice offense, and it's going to produce a kill. Coda Mikowski dying out of that back center. And past the 50-yard line, here comes Zupa, the new pickup, Mike Zupa, for Revo, coming over from PC Katana here to give them some offense with the loss of Josh Pike, as he's not here at this event. Zupa is just doing his job right now. He's way onto Infamous side of the field. Templeton trying to deal with that threat. He gets chopped to pieces. This is going to be a quick point to tie things up here for Revo.
Nice point by Zupa here on that Dorito side. And that's what Henry said this morning, that he felt that when they attacked that Dorito side, that's when they were getting a lot of their points and they were doing well. And when they don't attack, it doesn't go well. So obviously they're down 2-1 and they've had enough of that. We're going to go heavy down the Dorito side with Zupa.
Henry is correct, as displayed by the last 2 points they played, where they lost Zupa on the break and then didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And then blew the horn with 3 bodies alive.
Yeah.
So this one, they send Zupa all the way up to that mini wall on the break, get Derula up to the center brick, lock off that side so Drew can't come running down the side, and Zupa just keeps marching down there.
Yeah, so, you know, Infamous, getting smoked in that last one, but let's get a look at Thomas Taylor as he, you know, I got some information too, and Lauren was telling me that the medics thought that Thomas Taylor broke his ankle when she was over there listening to them talk to him right after his injury. And that's why I was, you know, scared for my longtime friend, and that's why I texted him, "You okay?" And he's like, "No, but I'm going to play anyway." So that's the type of guy Thomas is. They're going to need it, though, right now, and they need everyone to step up and kind of increase their survivability. Maybe take a little bit more ground. Revo with some offense over there, and that paid dividends for him on the D side. But Zupa's a good pickup for them. Even when they get Pike back, it gives them more options. It's going to make them less scoutable, too, if they can switch some positions for players. So it looks like Stephen O'Mara able to make it into the top 5 with 23 confirmed kills. They're going to have to, again, go deep, though, win this game for him to have a chance to win this Golden Barrel. Chad George leading the pack. We're going to see Houston Heat play the Russians with Smotroff up there, Alex Rodriguez, Dynasty, and Archie Montemayor. Archie made a run at the last event, too, but problem is X Factor keeps getting knocked out in either the semis or the quarters, and pretty much have to make it to the finals to have a real good chance of winning the Top Gun title. 8 minutes and 3 seconds left to go. Impact with a 1-point lead, and on the break, they might be losing Justin Cornell. The referee is checking him out, and it looks like he is out. So Rabakov's going to go to the back wall, or I'm sorry, the back tower right behind Laval. They don't shoot anybody from damage. Keith Brown stays alive. Jacob Edwards stays alive. Jacob Edwards making his move into the mini wall on the D side.
Alex Goldman shooting across the field, trying to keep Jacob Edwards from making that next bump. But Nick Laval locking off this snake side again, trying to keep Keith Brown from getting in there. Can shoot a small cut right in front of that snake, in between the snake beam and that snake insert. But Alex Goldman unable to keep Jacob Edwards, who has been out past the 50 onto impact side of the field. Justin Rabakov now forced to deal with him on the outside. As Alex Goldman going to get hit the ground.
Yep, smartly gets out of that bunker, because that's not a good bunker to stay in when Jacob's on that Dorito side. On impact side.
Yeah, on their side of the field. So Jacob Edwards, he's on the impact side of the field, on the D side, and putting the pressure on these players from impact. There goes Nick Laval. He's going to come off. Keith Brown's in snake 1. So Alex Goldman now here in snake 3. There's Justin Rabakov at D2. trying to roll paint down that sideline and keep Jake Edwards a little bit more tucked into his spot, though. But Jacob Edwards has played some good paintball here this weekend. He used to be one of their best players, so it's good to see him fighting tough over there on the D side. Damage needs it. Alex Goldman, he's at the wedge. Again, playing against his former teammate, Keith Brown. Goldman wrapping around, almost getting clipped, but staying alive. And now here comes the run through the highway, the inside route. And Keith Brown smokes Goldman, stays alive, and gets a 2-pack. What a beautiful move. There's 3 kills. Keith Brown just won this game here, or won this point for Tampa Bay Damage to tie it up. That was an absolutely filthy move from Keith Brown.
Sick.
Wow.
Sneaks around, comes and says, hey, Alex, here I am. Keeps going, takes out Zach, and gets just on the last shot.
That was one of the prettiest 3-packs that we have seen. Can't wait to see that replay, but let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks. We got 2 real back and forth matches here. I was in the Revo pit during that last pitch, and it really sounds like all of the players on the field are adjusting what their play and their role is in each point dependent on where Zupa is and what bunker Zupa is in. They really want to protect him to allow him to break open these points for them.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get it done here, but man, oh God, Keith Brown. That's why you pay Keith Brown, because he has that in the bag year after year, man. So not only is he putting on a snapshot clinic in the prelims, but then showing us that top burst speed and smoking 3 players. Now, infamous Revo tied up, under 5 to go. Thomas Taylor able to dive into Snake 1 and stay alive, and they get
Steve O'Mara's walking off for Revo.
Yeah, they get a shot then on O'Mara. So just 4 players left for Revo. They're doubling up that back tower and moving up on the D side with Zupa. Thomas Taylor still alive in Snake 1. Drew Templeton getting into D2. Looking at the D side cam over the shoulders. Players from Infamous. Here comes Max Trailer. Max Trailer able to get out wide there. You can see Infamous's killers there on your screen. Thomas Taylor with 22. It's a bunch of kills. He's getting up there. And he's still alive here in this point, in this tie game. He's crawling up into Snake 3. He's going to try to get across. And did he get there? I think he might have got clipped as Zupa with that crossfield shot. And he was able to get it. So nice kill by Zupa to control that lane and take out the big killer for Infamous and Thomas Taylor. Jarula is going to get up to the 50 brick as Templeton comes off for Infamous. So it is not looking good here for Infamous in this point.
Now, Cody McCaskey over here in the snake side corner and Rodarte are both trying to keep that attack from coming down the Dorito side, as Revo has those 3 bodies over there now, are all wrapping the outside, trying to force their issue over here. Max Trailer on the snake side, just got to stay alive. But everybody on Infamous right now looking towards that Dorito side.
Yeah, all 3 guns posted that way. We'll see if Max Trailer way in the back here, back corner bunker, snake side. He can't be feeling any pressure. Now Messer's going to throw a lane his way, try to keep him in that back spot. 1 body advantage for Revo. Max Trailer needs to get up this snake side when that gun from Messer switches back towards the D side. Actually, Messer's just going to stay on this snake side. That's a smart move, because you can't have all 3 of your guns in a 3 on with just 3 bodies looking one way. In the Pro League, man. Eventually, they're going to figure out, hey, no one shoot at me. I'm just going to move up, smoke everybody in the back.
Nope, Infamous is crossed up the way they need to be. Zupa's just trying to find a way to get it going on that Dorito side.
2:48 on the clock, 2-2 game. Revo in control right now of the field position. If you're Infamous, you're just trying to get 1 body. Try and get 1 kill, even it up. Give yourself a chance. Revo, you got to be smart. Don't give away this field position as Henry Sense moves all the way back to the back center. He's going to come try and help Max Trailer.
Todd, with 2:20 left to go, tied 2-2, 4-3. If Infamous can win a gunfight here, take it to a 3-on-3, we might see an overtime point.
Almost to that 2-minute mark right now. Cody McCaskey just trying to hold it down in the snake corner. Darula turned around, talking to Henry.
Do you think Trailer has the count right? Because he's been in this back corner bunker, so now it looks like Henry Sense is going to filter out. But there's only been 1 gun the snake way, and they've had a lot of ground on this D side and in the center for a while, and they have that 1 extra gun. I mean, Trailer's just being careful. You know, you don't want to be that guy that dies in a 4-on-3 to lose a gunfight to make it a 3-on-3.
I think he was just waiting for some help. He was the guy on the island over here by himself.
And here he goes, starting to move down that snake. Infamous concedes.
So did they lose? Minkowski is slow to get up out of that spot. So yeah, Minkowski is walking off real slow right now. I mean, it took him a good 10 seconds to stand up and slowly make his move out of that after the game was over. Man, well, Infamous is going to have a little bit of time to try to tie this up, but it's a tough break for him there. Still close match. And let's get a look at this Keith Brown replay here. Keith Brown runs the inside route, perfect timing, smokes Goldman, comes around, gets out of the kill. Look how fast that burst speed is. Comes around, gets Goldman, gets that shot there on, I think that was Yakimek, and then shoots Rabakov in the back too. Unbelievable. Yeah, so Keith Brown, that's what they picked him up for. I mean, he's an all-star, he's a former MVP, and just such a potent threat on this snake side in his gunfights. And if you give him just that little brief window, he's going to take full advantage of it. This game is brought to you by Carbon Paintball. Head to carbonpaintball.com as they're making some top-end stuff. Love what the boys at Carbon are doing. Big shout-out to Walker and Turbin, and providing us with the Golden Barrel Top Gun Award here in 2019. Who's going to win it? We got a lot of guys that could potentially win it here. That race is its own unique story too.
Like you said, to win that, you have to go deep into Sunday afternoon, because you got Chad George, A-Rod, Smotrov, and Heat and Russians are getting ready to play each other. So one of those guys is going to get knocked out.
Yeah, and yeah, it's hard to pick right now. I think obviously Chad George in the lead. He's going to have a really good chance. He's been playing this field very well. A-Rod in Dynasty, he's got a really good chance. Archie X Factor, 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. Tied at 2 because of that phenomenal Keith Brown move, 3-pack. And now looks like Justin Rabakov coming off early here for Edmonton Impact. Damage with 5 bodies alive, and they get some penetration on the D side with Jacob Edwards, but they're going to lose his brother Jason from the tower. And that's going to even up the counts. 4-on-4, locked at 2 with a little bit of time left.
5:44 left. Jacob and Justin Cornell mirrored up on the Dorito side. Look for one of those guys to move quickly, just like they've had been the whole game. Keith Brown, Alex Goldman here on the snake side.
And whoever wins this next point is going to have a massive advantage depending on how long the point goes, but we're starting to run out of time. JC's looking for it. JC there, top of your screen at D3, up and on his feet, looking like he wants to push forward. But so is Jacob Edwards. Jacob Edwards is in that same exact spot, mirrored up, but Cornell's going to be the first to go. He's going to get to D4. Jason shooting crossfield. No one in the snake for either squad. Keith Brown is a little bit closer, though. He's at the insert bunker here on the snake side. There is Jacob Edwards. So Jacob just posted down that side. JC, Justin Cornell, he is looking inside. A little bit better field position for Justin Cornell. Also, Nick Laval is at the he's at the front tower, and he's trying to keep Keith Brown honest. He's holding that lane down. He does not want to let his former teammate Keith Brown get across and into that snake with the way that Keith Brown's playing this weekend. Oh, Keith Brown again with the wicked snapshot. Todd, Rab, did you see that?
Takes out Alex in the back corner there.
Just one ball. He's just stacking up kills with one ball at a time.
Keith Brown, you definitely know that he wanted to get one here against Impact. He's been playing like it. He's pumped.
And now that Laval switched to the Dorito side, Keith moves into the snake.
So no pressure on Keith Brown right now. There's only one gun his way because JC's shooting inside, Laval's shooting towards the D side, and Zach Yakimek is looking down here towards the snake side. Oh, and he gets the crossfield kill. Keith Brown came to play some paintball here in Philadelphia. That's going to force a concession from Edmonton Impact, and Keith Brown jumps up out of his spot and screams back at his pits. Yep. Let's go.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Keith Brown is having a game. Damage takes a 3-2 lead.
So Tampa Bay Damage feeling it right now. Yep. What a complete turnaround quickly. If they can get this victory here against Edmonton Impact, anytime you beat Impact, you become one of the favorites, because Impact's always one of the favorites. We saw that last event out of the Russians. So there are the race for the Golden Barrel, and though you can't see it on the graphic, Keith Brown is now tied with Thomas Taylor at 24. So maybe Keith Brown, if they can defeat Impact and they go on a run, maybe it'll be Keith Brown. Right now, 1 point lead for Revo. Less time in this game, 1:29 to go.
And here comes Infamous. Thomas Taylor going up to the center brick. Looks like Omar is going to get a penalty.
He gets a penalty.
But
Infamous loses both guys on the Doritos side, so it's a 3-on-3 body advantage, both sides of the field.
Thomas needs to be careful of that bounce shot here, but yeah, it's 3-on-3 after a penalty for Revo and 2 deaths for Infamous on the D side. But Thomas Taylor's got the best position on the field. There goes Matt Derula. Infamous is going to have a chance to tie this one up. They have a 1-body advantage right now as we get under a minute. Can they do it? Revo trying to hold tough with the 2 players, one at D3, and he's trying to put the pressure on Thomas Taylor. And here comes the push where Darte's going to get to the blue brick. They need to get somebody up on this snake side. See if Jerry Carl can move up. They don't have a lot of time. 44 seconds left to go. And here comes Mikowski. Mikowski's going to get to the wedge. That's going to put the pinch on that tower. Mikowski wants to get across this zone and past the 50-yard line, but D3 is putting the pressure on him. But they lose Rodarte. That's not going to help things here for Infamous. Infamous now down to 2. He goes, and Mikowski has to commit past the lane. That's going to take the gun and put it on him. Thomas Taylor might be able to shoot a loader right now. Mikowski tries the jump shot. Thomas comes across and he commits. And does he get the kill? He does. Thomas Taylor might be stacking up a 2-pack to tie this game up. Thomas Taylor playing the hero yet again on a bum ankle.
Thomas Taylor just getting it done. He's got no extremity from the ankle down. You know what I mean? They cut it off last night, stuck a peg in there, put a water boot on, and he's just running down straight to the 50, closing out, getting those last 2 kills, putting the team on his back, Joe.
Oh, Thomas Taylor, look at this. The heart on this guy. See these last 2 players left alive here, and they're just trying to hold on for dear life. And Thomas Taylor bullying him around in the center with some good running and gunning skills here as he comes through and gets those last 2 kills. And so that's going to help his chances here in the Top Gun title race as he runs in. And he's a little more careful this time when you see when he went and hit the buzzer that time.
Joey Blute. That's why you pay Joey Blute the big bucks to coach. He just screamed out to his team, Mouse only has 3 pods. He's probably going to the snake. Vital information. The damage. I would bet the Mouse is going to the snake. I think that's a good call right there. Everybody knows Mouse is going to the snake. You just got to stop him. And he makes it all the way to snake 2 on the break. He gets there. 3:50 on the clock. Damage with a 1-point lead.
5 alive both squads. Damage on the back line. 3:41 left in this match.
Yeah, Goldman in real good position. Impact down by 1. This is the point Impact needs to win. Obviously, they're down by 1. But if they let damage go up by another point, that 2-point spread, there's just not that much time left. Even with their miraculous come-from-behind victories they've had over the years, the way Tampa Bay Damage is playing, they seem pretty locked in right now. It is 5-on-5. That's going to elongate this point even more as we are reaching the 3-minute mark. Goldman ripping a lane crossfield, looking at the D side right now here for Evanston Impact as Justin Cornell is at D3. Rabikoff at the back tower, Laval at the front tower. That's been their go-to move, and here comes JC. JC now getting into position in D4. Damage is just playing defense, though, and if you're a Damage fan, that's a little scary because taking all of the back line and zoning it up doesn't always work out, and sure enough, they lose Brian Smith. I would want to see them take a little more ground and then zone up.
As you say, that JC gets taken on that Doritos side, so 4-on-4.
Hey, we say it all the time. You're going to play defense, you better make your shots.
Yep.
And they just made one right there to even it up. And then, like you said, now 4-on-4. And there's Justin Rabikoff, who just improved his position a little bit as he gets into D2. Laval making it up to the 50-yard line at the center of the field to the blue brick. J-Rab goes to D3. 2:22 on the clock. Goldman still in his initial primary spot that he went to off the break. Yakimek's going to come behind him. Damage holding on. Trying to hold on to this 1-point lead.
They take out Justin Rabikoff on that Doritos side.
That's a huge kill. Now 4-on-3. Goldman and Laval and Yakimek are going to have to reach into their bag of tricks and try to tie this game up as they are down a body. Keith Brown, the snap shooting wonder in the back corner bunker for Tampa Bay Damage. And here comes Goldman. He's creeping around here on the snake side. There's Keith Brown on your screen, but Goldman is looking for that inside shot. Goldman is going to put him in and bully himself into the next position and then maybe get the drop on Jacob Edwards. He misses that shot, though, on Jacob. Jacob able to hide. And now it's going to be another Keith Brown and Alex Goldman snapshot battle here, but Goldman is looking for it as we have 1:25 left. Yakimek behind Goldman. He comes out wide to try to see if he can catch Keith sleeping. Still 4 bodies, and they're tucked in so tight I can only see 2 of them right here. Now Goldman's all the way across to try to use that tower to block out Jacob. And Jacob is just winging paint. He's trying to work the bounce shot. He's shooting balls all over that place to see if he can get one in on Alex Goldman. Goldman creeping down low, trying to get the drop on Keith, and here he goes as he crawls even more forward way onto Damage's side of the field. He's at their snake 1. Damage still with those 4 players alive. Only 52 seconds to go.
Doing their job right there. Look at this. Oh, I think he got a shot in the tower.
Oh, and Laval comes off. Jacob Edwards might have sealed up this win here as he is now marching down the D side. Goldman and Yakimek do not know that Jacob Edwards is still alive on that D side and that Laval's dead. Laval's about to walk past him. The coaching staff for Impact sees that death just happened, and they can see the point even with Goldman in Damage's snake 1 with Yakimek behind him. But it wasn't enough, and Keith Brown is pumped up right now. They got a 2-point lead. They are very close to knocking out Edmonton Impact in the wild card round.
He is having a game, Keith Brown.
And let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. Yeah, the feeling in the Damage Pit is just so different all weekend long at this tournament than it has been before. And in recent seasons, it's felt like Damage almost knew coming into the matches that they didn't have, that they were missing something, that they weren't playing up to their potential. But the entire weekend, they've felt so much more confident. And I think that's really got to be a factor of Joey Blute being there, helping them out, and getting them hyped in the pits on the sidelines.
Well, they've all talked to me and talked to us on camera and behind the scenes about how crucial it is to have that accountability, and it's been working for them. Right now, though, we are going to see an overtime point as there's just 4 seconds left, and it's locked at 3 with that beautiful move by Thomas Taylor. Rodarte gets shot, doesn't matter, as we are going to be heading to an overtime point. So these are 2 really good games here in this wild card round. You can see on the predictions. So Revo, a pretty big favorite over Infamous, but it's locked at 3 going to overtime. And Impact, they need 2 in under a minute. I mean, it's not over yet, and we've seen some crazy things happen this year and historically with 9-second points. You never know, but I mean, this could be a big upset here. It looks like a timeout has been called. Do we think, I mean, Todd, you got to be honest, do we think Damage could turn it around this fast? I mean, with the names on their backs and how well they've done, but Joey's only had a couple weeks with them, and it's obviously not all Joey, it's that mentality inside, but this is just a really good look for Tampa Bay Damage right now.
Well, we talked about this, when we got together last week, right? It starts with Jason Edwards. Jason Edwards has played big for them.
He's been alive. The show we did last week?
Yeah. You know, Jason Edwards has played big for them. He's been alive. He's been shooting people on the break. He's the guy that keeps everybody together. There's talent surrounding them all over the place. But getting Joey Blute back, having somebody to just take charge of all the little things and let the players play, I think is huge for them. And, Joey's a no BS type of guy. He's getting everybody, he's holding people accountable, trying to bring the structure back to that team and take some of that burden off Jason Edwards to allow him just to be himself and be that player. We know Keith Brown is a talented snake player. That's why he was getting paid the big bucks to go play for Infamous, and that's why Damage paid him bigger bucks to come back to Damage.
That's right.
But the thing is, those first couple events with Keith Brown, when you take on that responsibility, some guys take that responsibility and they can handle it, and some guys can't. And Keith Brown has fought and fought and fought, and you could tell those first couple events back to Damage, he took the burden of having to play really big for Damage to do well, and didn't do well those first couple of events. Was kind of finding his way back, but you could tell he was fighting. Some guys crumble, and Keith Brown continued to fight and fight and fight, and that's why he's performing out here, because he continued to believe in himself, kept his confidence high, and they brought Brian Smith back as well, who is a guy that has always been calm, cool, collected, and he's been playing behind Keith Brown. It's definitely made a difference.
35 seconds for Impact to score 2, and they're going to have to hit that gas pedal and do nothing but run forward into guns. They're going to lose Greg Sewers. Here comes the push, though, as they're stacking up at the 50-yard lines in the center. They're going to lose. Oh, look at Brusselback collides with Laval's. Laval's like, hey, man, get out of my way. We don't have much time left. I got to try to get up the field. I don't think they're going to do it. 16 seconds to go. They need 2, and the bodies are dropping everywhere for him. Rosati comes off. Laval comes off. And it's just, I think, Zach Yakimek left alive, and Tampa Bay Damage is going to be eliminating Edmonton Impact here in the wild card round. Unbelievable job by Tampa Bay Damage.
Keith is pumped, man. And you know what? I think also leaving Florida and heading to Dallas last weekend to get a practice with AC Dallas. Helped them as well. And it shows today. Keith is jacked over there.
Yeah, Keith Brown is playing. I mean, we've seen him play some amazing paintball over the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. But, I mean, he's just been lights out at every element of the game out here. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us here. And make sure if you want to watch the rest of the best paintball teams on planet Earth, already an upset here in the wild card round. Damage moves on, but they have to take on San Diego Dynasty next. They've already played Dynasty at this event. It was a pretty close game, but Dynasty took it 4-2. So please head on over to gosports.com, subscribe, and it's going to be an amazing event. We're already seeing, again, an upset. One of the best teams in the world knocked down the wild card round. So now, who's going to win this overtime point? Baltimore Revo or Los Angeles Infamous? Both scrappy teams. Infamous has had wins in the Pro Division years past. Revo, never been in the finals before. And they're going to lose a body as Zupa takes the walk from that D side. But Drew Templeton's going to take the walk for Infamous. So blow for blow over there on the D side right now. It's 4-on-4. A little bit better field position for Revo. They got Sense in D3. And just such a great success story, Todd. You know, Henry Sense was overweight years ago and shredded, I think, 40 pounds to slim up to be able to play pro paintball, and he's been one of their mainstay veterans now for a long time, and he's played great there here this weekend. He's going to need it here in the overtime point. He's going to be their man on the D side to see, are they going to move on? Winner of this game moves on into the quarters to take on X Factor. Losers are going to be packing their bags and heading home.
Yeah, Henry Sense did a good job of seeing Zupa get shot and get ready to walk off and quickly getting out to that Dorito side so they didn't have to sit there and fight with no body. But oh, Thomas Taylor tries to make a move into the snake and gets clipped, still checking his body, not sure where he got hit.
I mean, he must have hit him and broke off and not leave much paint, because I don't really see a hit on him either.
The ref was
But
like,
that's why we have referees out there.
4-on-3 body advantage for Revo.
It comes down to this. Infamous is going to have to win a low body situation again to save their chances here. The Philly Open. Panning over, looking at Messer on your screen. Rodarte in front of him. Mikalski, Mr. Consistent for Infamous, also out on the field here. Here comes Max Trailer. Max Trailer is going to coast up in the center of the field. He's going to stop at the pin. He's going to go past it. Max sees it. He's going to get one. Does he trade out to get the 2-pack? Messer is able to take him out, though. That was a nice move by Max. They play off of that.
Smartly didn't pull that trigger and go after Messer there.
They shoot out Mikalski, and I think it's going to be Revo taking this one here as they still have 2 bodies left alive. And here comes Sense to finish things off, and he's going to blow up the back of Brett Messer. And it's going to be Baltimore Revo advancing on to take on X Factor.
Big game there once again by Max Trailer. They needed him to step up and play big, and that was one of those moments. He knew he had to go just get that body off the field because they had the body advantage. Opened up that hole for his team to go running down that Dorito side and close out the game, force Mikalski into a bad move. And O'Mara and Jarula moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So let's go down to Lauren Kelly. Looks like she has Keith Brown.
Yep, Impact is out of the quarterfinals, and a huge threat to that happening was Keith Brown for Damage. Congratulations. How does it feel helping Damage move on, especially having to knock out your former team?
Correct. I mean, that's what I came here for. I came here, to try to lift our spirits and, try to bring our game to the next level. The first 2 events didn't go the way we wanted, but it's been a progression all the way through. We got Joey back, we got Brian back, we got our full squad back. It feels really good, really comfortable with the guys, since we've all played forever together. But like you said, it's just nice to, beat my old team, I mean, as much as I said yesterday, it's all about competition, and they're one of the best teams in the world, so it's definitely a great feeling going into playing Dynasty, who's playing flawless. To beat those guys is really a boost going forward.
Yeah, so let's talk about Dynasty a little bit. Last night when you guys were talking about strategy coming into today, you had to do your homework on Dynasty and see if you could find any tendencies with what they're doing and executing well. Did you guys find any tendencies with their style of play this weekend?
So, I mean, honestly, it's about living the breakout, right? You seen when they beat Impact yesterday 6-0, it was all about the breakout. If they survive the breakout, kind of find where the bodies are and kind of play paintball that way instead of dying in the first 30, because that's going to put, especially with these field setups, if you lose your wide guy, you're pretty much at the most disadvantage ever. Like, getting out of those back spots and kind of filling to, help stop what's happening is almost impossible at times. So it's all about surviving the breakout and kind of just playing paintball from there.
Yeah, and everyone knows Dynasty has been doing great, but going into that match, you guys are going in with some solid momentum, having to fight Impact to get there. And I said earlier on the webcast that the feeling in your pits has just changed. Talk to me about what you've noticed about the evolution of Damage since coming back this year, playing with them, the first match, the second match, till now. What has changed?
So what's changed is, we've worked on the little things. We've seen what we messed up on, and honestly, it was our communication. There were times where we were winning a lot of games before, and we would drop bodies or lose a guy on the field, and he would shoot us all in the back. So now it's all about, coming together, getting the communication, everybody being calm in their bunkers. You may lose one guy, but don't freak out type of thing.
Well, you didn't freak out. You guys took that win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, Keith is just an all-star, dominant beast out there here at this event. Can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do against San Diego Dynasty. Also, Revo, again, advancing to take on X Factor. But before we get to those games, we have our first games here in the quarterfinals 2019 NXL Philly Open. It's going to be AC Dallas taking on Uprising and Houston Heat and Russian Legion, the 1 and 2 ranked teams in the world right now. So stick with us here. Can't wait to see what's about to go down. I'm Matty Marshall with Steve Rabakoff and Todd Martinez. We'll be right back.
The driving mission at Go Sports is to bring you the best paintball content and broadcast in the world, behind the scenes, in the pits, and on the field. To continue this mission, we're rolling out a renovated website platform across the board, with easier search functions and a more robust chat system for better interaction with your fellow fans. Dive farther into the game with a new integrated stats portal. Get your insight into the game anytime, anywhere, with an improved functionality across all mobile devices. Check it out now on GoSports.com.